JJ the CPA here. Want to talk about stopping payroll temporarily. Hear me on this. The payroll companies need to get caught up. If you're using Alliant, they need to get caught up, because here's what we're dealing with. We've got the 3 tax credits that we know we've been working with related to sick leave, and then the expanded family and medical leave. And then there's a new tax credit that's been added, which is the employee retention tax credit. And we also are able to now defer, as an employer, paying in the Social Security tax, the 6.2%. So when you go to cut payroll, if the payroll is $10,000 in terms of gross payroll, 6.2% of course is $620. You don't have to send that in now. Now you can, but you can defer that. And so I think that we want the payroll companies to be able to get their systems in play to make this all work properly, because now we're going to be giving them 4 different types of credits, which really for the payroll company, they just probably need to know what's the total credit, okay? But when there's that payroll tax credit, and this new one works the same as the other 3 in the sense that the way that you realize the credit or you experience the economic benefit of it is that it's a reduction of the payroll tax that you pay into the IRS. So just like the other 3 credits, we've got to know that credit amount, which I've got another video on it. So really right now, it's not so much, oh my gosh, we got to figure out the credit, because we've got our hands around that. I've got a page on it, I've got a worksheet. If you're with Alliant or Paychex, we've already got the information from Alliant. We pulled the information from Paychex. We've already started worksheets as it relates to the payroll credit. We're just going to add this 4th one. What we'll just need to do is talk before you run a payroll so that we can then just figure out what the credit is. Figuring out the credit though, once we hit payroll, will be, what days are the employees out, and then we apply whatever the credit would be, and I'll communicate that to Alliant. Now, as it relates to this new tax credit, I've got another video on that, but I will take time to talk about this Social Security tax deferment that I told you about. So if you have $10,000 in payroll, 6.2%, that's the employer portion of the Social Security taxes. That is then something you can pay now, but if you defer payment, you don't pay it until 2021, half of it then, and then the other half in 2022. Now, there is a new law here that just came into play at around 4 p.m. Friday, a couple of days ago. So in terms of the nitty gritty on this, will be determined. And I just mean this because I know the questions might be, well, hey, can I pay it anytime I want? Can I just do this for a short period of time? Yes. How do I pay it in the future? Not sure. And that's where I really appreciate having the payroll companies handle all the payroll. So we need to be patient with them, give them a little bit of time. This is massively unprecedented. Never has this kind of stuff happened, where we're going to have 4 tax credits and a deferment of Social Security tax. So long story short, I'm recommending that you stop payroll now. And then, well, what are we going to do though? How are we going to get our employees paid? So this is how you're going to do it. This is how I did it last week. You will pay them in advance, and the advance will be basically what their net pay is. To make it easier for the payroll company, it would really be best if you just pay the employee a round figure. Now, the employee probably doesn't want 1 cent less than what's coming to them. So maybe you can just round it an inch, an unch, I should say, up for them and let it come out in the wash later. But it'd be a lot easier to track advances. But you can figure that out with the payroll company. But here's what you're going to do. The payroll company's not going to do a direct deposit of an advance. It's not possible. That's not what they do. That's not their role. Their role is that when then payroll is run, they do their magic. So what you'll need to do is get the amounts of what the net check would be, round it a few bucks here to get it to a round dollar amount, so to speak. And then you need to track that here's the employee, here's the advance that I paid them, and what payroll period it is. And then when the payroll companies are up to speed, then you will have the payroll company run that payroll. Now, the payroll company is going to help you, quote unquote, track this and know this, but it's, of course, our responsibility. So I won't really be a part of the equation. That's why we have Alliant, and you have any other payroll company that you might be working with. But at the end of the day, you'll want to do that so that you can defer your Social Security tax. Now, you may be asking, well, what if I don't want to defer my Social Security tax? I'd rather just pay it now and be done with it. Then no problem. You can just run payroll as normal. However, if you do have some payroll tax credits, we might have to delay an official payroll a little bit to still give the payroll companies time to catch up, where you might be doing this advance for maybe just one payroll period. And that would be if you have any credits. So let me re-clarify. If you want to defer paying in Social Security tax till next year, and or you have some tax credits, get ready to write some advances to your employees for their net check. And then once the payroll companies have caught up, then you'll run that official payroll. So your employees get what they need. The IRS has already been directed that there will be no penalties associated with any and all of this. There's nothing being done incorrectly or inappropriately, et cetera, et cetera. This is a very temporary solution to get the payroll companies caught up. In April, they have to do first quarter Form 941s and 940. There's going to be a lot on the shoulders of the payroll companies. And so for you to get the full benefit, let's hold if you want to take advantage of any of these things. Now, if you don't want to defer your Social Security tax, the employer portion, and you don't have any credits, well then, boom, just run your payroll as normal, et cetera, et cetera. But if you've got any of these things, then you want to stop running payroll. You just want to pay advances. And it should be easy squeezy, other than, you won't be able to do the direct deposit portion. You'll have to write that check out and then give that to the client. Or give that to the employee. So the employees will just have to understand, they will. And it might be an extra hassle. I know that, with the coronavirus, we're supposed to be home. And so this might require someone getting up there and getting the checks to the employees. But guess what? I'm telling you now so that you can be prepared for this. So come payroll time, you'll already have figured out how you want to go about this. I'd probably say give the payroll company 2 to 3 weeks. This is massively unprecedented. And I am feeling really relieved by it. I have credits to take advantage of. I am going to defer Social Security employer tax for a bit. So I will be doing this advance aspect. And I've already talked to Alliant about it. So whenever you get to your next payroll, Nancy will be in contact with me. I'll probably be in contact with you. But what you do need to do is be a little proactive with everybody and help us know, did you have anybody and do you want to defer it? And you can decide that come tax time or come payroll tax time. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you would subscribe to my YouTube channel for those that aren't clients. For those that are clients, go to the next video. I'm going to talk about the employee retention tax credit. And that's the next one. And also that will be the next one in the playlist on YouTube if you are there. All right. Thank you so much.